This is called the Dad's Yellow Sunset Tomato. It's an orange tomato. They get like this size. This is probably half a pound. I don't think they get too much bigger than this. They probably would in the perfect growing conditions. You probably could get some good size tomatoes out of that. I'm going to do a taste test. Let's cut her open. Oh, it's nice and firm. Nice. This has been sitting out for a little while. Oh man, look at this, guys. Look at the inside of this. What a gorgeous looking tomato. Very even in color. You can see the chambers on it. 1, 2, 3. They're all the way around the outside. You can see a lot of different variations in that, but in general, the chambers are on the outside of the tomato. Also, you can see that the seeds are attached to the rind. Okay, so that's a good, healthy sign of a tomato. I personally like that. Let's give her a bite and see what she's got to say. Tangy. It's got 60% tangy on it, 60 to 70% tangy. It's a little bit chalky, but it's not dry. It's just the pulp part is kind of like, I don't know how to describe that. If you ever eat paste tomatoes, they kind of got a chalkiness to them. It is a little chalky, so the taste isn't bad. It's a little bit sweet, maybe 25 to 30% sweet, 60 to 65% tangy, and that in between those numbers is like your watery, neutral flavor. It's got a lot of tang to it. It's got a nice, long-lasting aftertaste after you eat it. In other words, you don't eat it and it's gone in 2 seconds. It's hanging around a bit. It's making my mouth water. It's a pretty even tomato. I actually like this. I wouldn't put it on the same level like some of my top tomatoes, just so you guys know. My top pick in tomatoes is the Kellogg's breakfast tomato is one of them. Now I've eaten the Belmonte tomato. That's up in my top 10 tomatoes. That's a new one I'm just adding to that because that tomato was absolutely delicious. In my top 10, like my number one top tomato of all time favorite tomato is my Kellogg's breakfast tomato. And I think I'm growing some of them this year, but I don't know if they came out. I'm not sure. This got absolutely devastated this year. This one's not exactly up in my top 10 as of right now. But if it was to be in my top 10, after I try a few more, if I really like it, I would probably put it in the beginning entry level, which would be like a 10 on my top 10. It's not a bad tomato. It's got a nice tangy flavor. Sweetness is not overwhelming, but there's some sweetness in it. And it is juicy. It's not dry. There is something funny a little bit about the aftertaste a little bit, or there's a certain overtone to this tomato that I don't necessarily care for, but it's not bad. I can eat it. Now let me finish this. It's sort of thick when you chew it. It could be that this is kind of on the overripe side, but I generally like to let my tomatoes really ripen so the starches convert. It's kind of mashy. It's kind of pulpy in your mouth. The undertone part of it, it's not really prominent, or it's not a big deal. There is a slight wild undertone or overtone to it, kind of hanging around in there a little bit. So yeah, you are going to taste something going on there. But outside of that, overall, this is a good tomato. Here's the top view of it. A little bit of sun scald on them. All my tomatoes basically got sun scalded this year. I would say it's be worth a try. It's definitely different than some of the other gold. This is orange, but it's really like a gold tomato. It starts getting orange and darker orange. It doesn't necessarily turn red. It just gets like this color, and that's it. It's not bad. I'd say give it a whirl, guys. I'd say give it a whirl. This is Dad's Sunset. This was your Heirlooms review, tomato taste test. See you on the next one.